they're not ready to commit. Boys will be boys. Probably don't feel comfortable enough in their masculinity. Conversation about sex. A man is a luxury, not a necessity. No over complimenting her appearance. We're often controlled by their fathers. He told me that on a date. Today's video I'm going to be explaining why you need to stop treating women like a princess. So, we grew up with Disney films. We watched the prince save Snow White with a non-consensual kiss. We saw Ariel give up her gift, her voice, to be with Prince Eric. It is these dated depictions of princesses that urge me to disagree with the notion that men should treat the women around them or their partner like a princess. I'm pretty sure most men don't know any actual live princesses, so they're going to go off what they see in fictional films. The princesses in the films that I used to watch and that men my age would have watched were often controlled by their fathers. They were skinny, often white, and they were admired for looking like this. They were portrayed as a prize for the prince once he had conquered some sort of quest. So no, I don't think you should treat women like a princess. I think they should be treated as an equal, someone you can split the bill with, not someone men need to rescue. I do not need rescuing. Rescuing implies that I am not self-sufficient, that I lack independence and that I need a man. As Cher once said, a man is a luxury, not a necessity. Iconic! Cher makes an important point though. Many women are taught to wait for a man to whisk them off their feet, and it's clear many men feel that this is the case too. They feel the pressure and they freak out because, they're not ready to commit. There's also the fact that many of them probably don't feel comfortable enough in their masculinity to kind of stop sleeping around and find some self-worth elsewhere. Kind of joking, kind of not joking. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is these little sayings, like treat her like a princess or sweep her off her feet, they're damaging. They encourage men to see the women that they're dating as people that need to be guided, kind of looked after. Language is powerful. Common phrases reflect societal pressures to behave in certain ways. For example, sit ladylike, grow a pair, man up. And my favourite, boys will be boys. The list goes on. All these little sayings aren't harmless. These words shape culture and people. So on a date, a man should not be treating her like a princess. He should be treating her like another human being. He should respect her, consider her an equal. She's a stranger that he's curious about, so he should get to know her, ask her questions about her life, find out if she has similar interests to him that they can bond over. He should not be focusing on sweeping her off her feet. She has a blimmin' life. She doesn't need you to uproot her and help her find the right pathway. She has spent years finding her way all by herself. She doesn't need you. She just wants an individual that can add to her life, that can spruce it up. At least that's what I want. Ditch the grand gestures, no over complimenting her appearance, and no insisting on paying the bill. What is that? I remember a guy on Love Island, I think his name was Johnny, the one that went out with Camilla. He said that he'd feel really emasculated if he couldn't pay the bill, if the woman paid or paid half. That is gross. I find that really gross. If you want to offer to pay, go ahead. But if the woman insists, or wants to pay, not even insists, wants to pay half, just let her, for God's sake. So yeah, no insisting on paying the bill, please. You should ask her what her passions are. Open up and be vulnerable and honest with her. If it's your first date, don't, offer her the world and be like, I'm going to take you on all these swanky dates and I'm going to do this and that with you and plan loads of future dates. Don't do that. You don't know her well enough yet. Don't make promises that you can't keep. Be real with her. Treat it almost like a meet up with a friend. Maybe a bit of flirtation in there because we all have a little flirt. But please, don't talk about sex. If you want a friends with benefit kind of situation, clarify that really early on. And if she agrees, then okay, maybe sexy talk is on the table. But on an average date, you shouldn't stir the conversation down that path. Women are not sexual objects. We are human beings with life experience. Stick to asking us about that kind of stuff, not how flexible we are. God, the amount of times I've been asked that. The flexible one sounds super innocent, but then they'll really quickly be like, it can so quickly allude to a conversation about sex. I remember a guy did ask me if I was flexible. Oh, he was such a creep. He also used to go in and he did a yoga class at uni. And he only did it so he could stare at the women, bending over. How gross is that? He told me that on a date and laughed. He was a cretin. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Please hit the red subscribe button and the little bell notification. I love exploring taboo topics, so if you're into that kind of stuff, check out my other videos, and I post every Wednesday and every Friday.